A young woman named Sam arrives at the Mandalay house to babysit their daughter Angela. She lets herself in and calls out to the family, and Mrs. Mandalay says they'll be right there. She sits by the door and removes her shoes, but gets startled to see the Mandalays standing right in front of her. Mrs. Mandalay is very condescending towards Sam. Her husband interrupts to take her to the living room. She notices some of Angela's strange drawings on the table and asks where she is, but the mother says she'll come out when she's ready. As they leave, Sam tells them to have a wonderful night. Mr. Mandalay looks like he wants to say something to Sam, but he's hurried along by his wife. Thinking Angela is behind the curtain, she tries to lure her out with candy, but when she pulls the curtain back, no one's there. Angela touches her from behind. Sam introduces herself to Angela, but she says, "I already know everything about you." She tells Sam, "I like it when you're smaller than me," because she likes to be the boss. She then takes Sam to her room to show her dolls. In a long hallway on their way to Angela's room, she pushes a button on her watch and turns out all the lights. Sam panics, but she finds her way to Angela's room and tells her it's not okay to scare people. She says to Angela, "You want to see my dolls?" and proceeds to show her a very creepy set of mutilated toys. She then begins to scold one of the dolls for being in the wrong place. She rips its head off and tells Sam she doesn't like when things don't do what they're supposed to do. Sam says there might be a more gentle way to get your message across and tries to put the doll back together. But Angela snatches it away and says it's being punished and throws the head.
Punished? It's a doll.
But Angela says, "I don't care, they're my toys and I make the rules." Ugh, look at that thing. She shows Sam a picture of her mother when she used to be a CEO of a big company in London. Sam tells her she wants to one day own her own business. The little girl says, "You're too nice to own a business. You have to learn how to dominate. Let me find you some clothes so you can practice." She hears a noise and looks under the bed and sees the doll head. What she doesn't see is that it blinked. Angela comes back with a business suit jacket, but Sam isn't in the mood for dress-up, so Angela forces her. She tells her the bathroom is down the hall, but she can't leave the room until Angela pushes the button on her watch. While Sam is trying on the jacket, you can hear a teapot whistling in the background. Sam returns and says the jacket doesn't fit. Angela pours her powder in Sam's drink and says it's time for tea. Angela says it might be a little bitter if you're not used to drinking tea. Sam tries the tea but doesn't like it. When Angela gets distracted, she switches the cups and acts like she finished it. Sam's phone dings, and when she goes to check it, Angela grabs it and throws it in the teapot. Then she starts to feel the effects of the tea. The little girl says, "Try not to cry or you'll come out looking like her." She tries to get away, but Angela grabs her head and starts a demonic chant. She's able to get free. When she looks in the mirror, she sees something has changed on her face. The little girl says, "Why hasn't it worked yet?" Then she says, "You tricked me. You didn't finish your tea." Sam runs down the hallway to the front door in an attempt to leave, but the doors are locked and Angela tells her she needs to go back to the room to finish her tea. She runs, but her leg is sliced by one of the dolls standing in the hallway. She tells Angela to open the door and let me leave, but she sicks one of the dolls on her. She runs through the house checking all the doors, but they're all locked. The only one that's unlocked is the bedroom. She runs inside and locks out Angela. She tries to leave through the bedroom window, but needs something to break it. That's when she finds a bunch of identification cards from past babysitters. Sam sees the cabinet open. From outside of the room, Angela tells her that the dolls do what she tells them to do, then orders them to attack Sam. The dolls start appearing from all over the room with weapons. Sam's cornered, but then she sees one of the dolls looks like one of the identified girls. She shows her the ID and tells her she was Esme Lopez. She was once a person. She says, "You were one of Angela's babysitters and she did this to you, and I can help you." She removes the weapons and puts the doll's arms back on. The doll starts to cry. When she looks up, she sees the rest of the dolls standing there with their parts, hoping that she'll repair them also. She's able to repair all the dolls by the time Angela gets into the room.
"What are you doing?"
She orders the dolls to attack, but they won't. Sam says cruelty is not power. You can still learn, you're young. She extends her hands and says, "Let me help you." But Angela uses the opportunity to finish her incantation. Luckily, one of the dolls cuts Angela's leg to stop the process. She says, "I'll make you pay for trying to turn my dolls against me." But the dolls block her path and tell Sam to run. As the door closes, you can hear the dolls attack and start chanting a demonic spell. The Mandalays return and Mrs. Mandalay asks her husband what time is it because Angela would be upset if they come back too early. Mr. Mandalay says it's a shame because the new babysitter seems like such a nice girl. She says don't talk like that because if Angela heard you, she might turn you all the way. The door opens and Sam runs into the Mandalays and realizes they've been partially turned into dolls. Sometime later, Sam opens up a daycare center and receives a donation box. In it is a doll that looks just like Angela, wearing the same clothes she had on. The eyes open.